Hey y'all, hey y'all. Hey. It's the girl Anika here, Anika Lene. And today I thought I would come on here and do another story time. See, I was gonna do a story time while you watch me do my makeup, but my eyebrows weren't cooperating today, so just get a story time again. This story time is gonna be about the time that I found myself in an abusive relationship. But that's not really like what it's supposed to be about. I just want to tell the story to show the importance of not ignoring red flags and like the things people show you. Let's just get to the video, okay? So I started dating him my senior year of high school around I think March or April of 2017. And he was someone who went to my school actually. He was in a grade higher than me. So like I knew of him. He wasn't like a stranger to me, but I just never like had a friendship or anything with him before I started to actually date him and talk to him. And for the sake of this video, like I'm not gonna give out away his identity or anything. So for the sake of this video, I'm gonna call him Josh. Okay, so his name's Josh. And so me and Josh started dating I think around March or April of 2017. And it went really fast. We were like texting and talking all the time, seeing each other every day. I think after like a week or 2 weeks, we officially started dating. Like he was my boyfriend, I was his girlfriend. And everything was going well for the first month or so. Something happened with his ex or whatever, I don't know. And he was upset about it. And my whole thing was, I don't understand why you're upset about an ex. Like, you know, my ex doesn't have the power to make me this upset anymore, so I don't understand why your ex does. And I guess that didn't make him happy or whatever. So he really snapped on me, and that's the first time I really experienced some disrespect from him, of meaning like he's calling me out my name and you just don't effing get it. That's why I don't mess with young girls. Mind you, he was only a grade higher than me, so I don't know. And oh, I forgot to mention, so we started dating in March or April. My prom was in May. And so we started dating. I liked him, so I said, you want to go to prom with me? So he was my prom date. So he got upset and was like, I'm not going to prom with you anymore. F you, blah, 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 blah. And it wasn't really even an argument or anything serious, but his reaction, you would have thought I like told him F you and your mom. I was just so confused. Like I'd never been through something like that before. Of course, later he came, apologized. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I don't know why I did that. And I forgave him because he said sorry. And it was the first time something like that had ever happened before. So I didn't have any reason to believe that it would happen again. So then I think we had like little arguments here and there. And they would always just be bad. So this was like the first time something, I guess, physically happened, not to me, but in like a matter of his like behavior. So I just had a feeling that something was going on. He left his phone in his car while he ran in my car while he ran in his house to get something. And of course the phone kept going off. So obviously I'm gonna look to see what's going on. And then I looked to just see. So around the time when we first started dating, like we were officially together at this point, I see that he was texting other people and still talking to one of his exes. And I instantly had an attitude. He got back in the car and he could see my mood change. He's like, what's wrong? I said, nothing. I just want to go home. Like, I just want to go home. And he's like, what's going on? Blah, 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 blah. And I finally told him, and he's like, what the F you going through my phone for? No, because you got me effed up, blah, 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 blah. Oh, my God. My earring. Sorry. So, yeah, he was like, what the F you going through my phone for? You got me messed up. I was just like, just let me go home. Like, I just want to go home. That's it. He would not let me leave. He snatched my keys out the ignition while I was in drive. And he took my keys. He took my phone. He took my wallet. He took everything from me. He would not let me leave. So I'm sitting in a part of Philadelphia that I'm not from, so I don't know, that's his hair area, I don't know it. And we were in the same vicinity as his mom and everything. So he calls his mom, and he's like, Mom, I swear to God, she went through my phone. And then he gives the phone to, he's like, I'm just about to snap. Like, I'm about to snap. He's really mad. Like, he's pacing back and forth, like mad. Like, you would have thought that I like slapped him or spit in his face or something when all I said was, I want to go home because I don't understand why you would do these things, or why were you talking to somebody in this type of way, and why would you move in this way? I don't understand. He was like, in the beginning of the relationship, things are different. I feel different about you now than I feel whatever. But I was still upset, as I felt like I had the right to be. So he calls his mom again, and he's pacing back and forth outside because this is just effed up. You got me effed up. Like, I was really scared. I'm not gonna lie, because he like got in my face and was like yelling at me and cursing. And again, I'm not used to those types of things. I've never been in that type of situation for people to do that. I'm really uncomfortable with men raising their voice at me. And that was the first time I experienced that, really. So him yelling at me and then getting in my face and yelling, I was scared. Again, I'm not even in my own area. I don't have my phone. I don't have my car keys. He's not letting me leave. And so then he gives the phone to me when his mom's on the phone, and she's like, why the F would you go through his phone? Did you pay that effing bill? Nobody wants a nagging B. Like, who do you think you are to think you could go through my son's phone? And I'm just so upset. Like, I was just crying because I was just so mad. First of all, I'm not going to disrespect his mom. Because first and foremost, I don't believe in disrespecting adults to an extent. But also, I'm not about to disrespect his mom. While this man's already mad right now about whatever. And now he's getting more mad. I don't know what he was going to do. I was just so scared. I was just like letting her say whatever she wanted at that point. Oh, I forgot something so major. Okay. So rewind back to before he took my keys out the ignition and everything. I'm like, I just want to go home. Like, I want to go home. Like, just let me leave. I don't want to get out of my car. I want to go home. And he was so mad that I went through his phone and I wanted to leave. He punched my windshield and put a crack in it. And I was just like, I cannot believe. And see, when I'm uncomfortable, I laugh just like I'm doing right now. I'm just like, I cannot believe you just did that to my car. Like, my car. And I think I have a picture of it. I'm going to look. But and if I do, I'll put it in right here. And I was just like, I cannot believe that. Fast forward to when I said I was already scared of the fact that he just punched my windshield so hard he cracked it. And he's pacing back and forth, screaming and cursing and hollering. Put his mom on the phone. She's cursing me out. It was just so embarrassing, and it was scary. Like, the people in his apartment building were screaming out the window, let her leave. Like, it's not that big of a deal, man. Just let her go. And he's like, no, because she got me effed up, blah, blah, blah. So finally he ends up calming down, and we get back in the car, and he's like, I'm so sorry. Look, the 360 is complete. Like, I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. I don't know. Like, I'm going to fix it. I still can't believe I did that. Mind you, I'm crying now. Like, I'm scared. I'm angry. I don't know what's going to happen. That was like the first time. And then the sad thing is that wasn't enough for me to be like, okay, I'm leaving. I'm done. I still stayed, and I was like, okay, like, I'll try to forgive you and move past this. So I had to go home that night. My mom comes in my room the next morning like, what happened? I'm like, I was driving and some kids was throwing rocks, and they threw a rock and hit my car and cracked it. And she's like, what? But at the time, that's just the only thing I could say, because I knew that I was not leaving him. I wasn't in the position to say how I was done with him. So I didn't want to tell her what really happened, because I didn't care for her opinion on the situation. I didn't want her opinion of him to be changed. I finally told them what really happened, and they're like, my mom says, like, I told you that boy did that, but I knew she wasn't ready to let nobody know about it yet. But I told you that boy did that. I really thought I was fooling somebody, but I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready. Things got aggressive, not physically, but maybe him yelling, raising his voice. We're on the phone, and he's like, just yelling at the top of his lungs. I can barely hear anything he's saying to me. And I'm like, stop talking to me that way. Stop yelling at me. He wasn't listening to it, so I hung up. I don't have anything to talk to you about. There's nothing to talk about. We don't have nothing to talk about. Somehow or another, after he got so crazy disrespectful to me, I ended up forgiving him. And he would say some really, really disrespectful and hurtful things to me. And I still would forgive him, because I don't know. Every time we got into arguments, his mom would call me and tell me I'm a nagging bee and no man wants that. All these things. And I'm not a disrespectful person. I'm not going to disrespect somebody's mom, especially when I know I still wanted to be with him or whatever. It got to the point that his mom was calling me through every argument so much that I had to tell my mom. And my mom had to reach out to her. I'm like, listen, this is my child. And you're not going to, that's between her and him. I don't even remember what I named them anymore. I think I named them Josh. That's between Anika and Josh. You don't need to get involved in that, okay? To the big night, 7 o'clock gets here. I'm texting him, I'm calling him, not answering. Finally, he calls me and he's like, oh, I'm at my friend's house who lives like 30 minutes from him. And mind you, he lives 20 minutes from me. So I was mad. Because I'm like, I don't understand why you would go do something with your friend knowing that he wasn't going to be done doing whatever he's doing before the time me and you were supposed to spend with each other, right? So I came pick him up. Stupid, because why would I do that? And he had me waiting out there for like 20 minutes because his phone was broke or whatever. So when he finally comes out, I have an attitude, bro. Like, I was tight. And he's like, get over it. Like, it is what it is. Blah, 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 blah. Like, you always complaining all the time. You should be happy that I'm still here to see you and all this stuff. And I just felt like, how is this getting turned around on me that I'm, like, wrong here? And at that point, I couldn't hear anything that he was saying to me because I was getting angry. So eyes just stopped talking to me. Like, shut up. I don't want to spend time with you anymore. I'll take you home because you're already in my car now. But we don't have to spend time with each other. He's talking. And I'm just like, I don't care. Like, shut up. I don't care. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. So we're pulling into his apartment and like I type in the code. And I'm still saying, like, stop talking to me. Stop talking to me. Next thing I know, my face, like, snaps that way. And then, like, I get hit in the arm. So he punched me in my face. I'll never forget this. I'm driving. And obviously he's in the passenger seat. So I'm driving. He punches me in my cheek right here. My face snaps like this to the side. And he punched me in my arm. And I was I was just shocked, like. And at first I laughed because I just could not believe that this just happened to me. Like, this did not just happen to me. This didn't just happen to me. He would not get out the car. And so that's when I started crying because I was just shocked. And now I'm getting angry because I want to leave. Like, you just hit me. I've never been hit by a man before. You just put your hands on me. I'm calling my mom. I call her, he hangs up the phone, snatched the phone out from me. You're not calling her. Snatches my keys out the ignition again. This man would not let me leave. He would not let me leave. First of all, I was terrified because now it's not a situation of he hit something else. He just hit me. I didn't know what else he was going to do. I didn't know. And again, I'm in a neighborhood that I don't know. I was angry. I was scared. He wouldn't let me call my mom. I called her. He hung up. She called me back. He wouldn't let me answer. I think she called me another time and I didn't answer again. We just sitting there and I'm like, what do you want me to say to you? Like, you want me to say I forgive you for the fact that you just hit me? Like, I'm a man on the street and I didn't even put my hands on you, bro. Like, I was just saying, leave me alone. Stop talking to me. I don't have nothing to talk to you about. Of course, he started his crying stuff. And it didn't really mean anything to me. It wasn't, at the time, I really was just saying whatever I could say for me to not get hit again. And, like, possibly in a worse situation. Because the most that happened with my face was that, like, when I pressed on it like this, it hurt. But I didn't have any bruises or any marks. Thankfully, I didn't. Finally, after like multiple hours, He lets me leave because I agreed that I would, think about not ending the relationship. He's like, I'm scared that if you leave, it'll be the last time that I see you. And so I finally leave. I call my friend Sam, and I just burst into tears like, it's me. And Sam's just like, what? And mind you, it was like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm calling her. So I finally get home, and I think he texted me, and I'm pretty sure I have a screenshot of like the conversation from when he texted me. Like, I always was that girl who said, if someone hit me, I'm leaving. But when I was in that situation, that didn't even happen. I didn't leave. That's the crazy part, right? For a little bit, I was trying to figure out if I still wanted to be with him or not, if I still could be with him or not. I didn't tell anybody. The only person who knew was Sam. And because I just needed to tell somebody. And the way his apologies went was like, I'm so sorry that I hit you, but you should ask yourself what you did to make me even get that angry and make me want to put my hands on you. And I'm just like, this isn't an apology. This is not an apology at all. It's not. And it was just a constant back and forth. My emotions were all over the place. And I knew I didn't deserve that. I knew I didn't. So that's when I decided, you know what, F this. I'm done. I woke up one day. I really just couldn't see myself being able to be with somebody like this anymore. And I just remember going to sleep one night and he said, okay, good night, I love you. And I don't know if I said it back. I don't know. And then I remember waking up that morning and something in me clicked. And I was just like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to be with you anymore. I don't hate you or anything, but this just isn't going to work for me. Once I made that decision, there was nothing that he could say to me to make me like, it was no weakening in my heart, because my heart didn't want him anymore either. So that he was upset about that. He's just like, my stomach dropped to my, like, it just dropped, bro. Like, I cannot believe this. He was just like, at first saying some, like, the things men say when they want to still be with the person that they messed up with. Like, I'm so sorry, I'm in love with you. I can't eat, I can't sleep, all these things. And I didn't feel nothing for it, I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't want to be with you anymore. Then it switched. So it got to the point where he was seeing that nothing he was saying was making me want to be with him anymore. And it turned into a situation of him. Now he's threatening me. People are crazy, and I don't put anything past anyone. He was saying stuff like, and I put that here. He's like, said stuff like, I'm glad I was the first nigga to do something to you that you'll never forget. I hope your next nigga do it. Like, just stuff like that. And I'm just like, bro, like, this is why I can't be with you. It's something wrong. And I don't even mean that in like a crazy way, but there's something wrong and you need help. And I'm not here to try to fix you. I didn't break you. It got so bad that I had to get a restraining order on this man. Like, I never thought I would be in that type of situation where I need to get a restraining order on someone. Like, are you serious? Whereas you had to go serve them. So I had my 2 aunts and my uncle go with me. I did not get out the car. I was so anxious and nervous. My aunt's like, you've been served. And my uncle standing there all big, like, and he didn't reach out to me after that. He was reaching out to me up to that point, but then he didn't reach out to me after that. So, the court date comes. I didn't think he was going to come, but he did come. I remember getting there, I'm seeing him, I feel like I'm going to throw up. Like, I'm shaking, I'm so nervous. I don't know what to expect. I've never been in this situation. I was 18 going through this, right? I'm just like, this is crazy. Like, I've never been through something like this before. He was there with his mom, and, she was just glaring at me like I did something. Like, I wasn't the one who was punched in the face and then threatened. A lawyer comes up to me, actually, a person who's like deals with domestic violence and everything, and she's like, I'm a lawyer, I can help you free of charge. She explained my options to me. She's like, there's this type of restraining order, this type of restraining order. So I ended up getting, I didn't even have to speak to the judge, really. She just had to talk to me to make sure I was agreeing to the terms. I said I just didn't want him to contact me at all. I didn't want him to come to my house, to my job, anything. I didn't want any contact. And the maximum amount you can get for a restraining order is 3 years. And I said, yeah, give me the max. And he agreed to the terms. and the lawyer agreed to the terms, and that was that. That was a very stressful time in my life. I actually had to take like a break off of relationships for like a year after that because I really had to work on myself. I had to figure out why it was that I even stayed in this situation. The restraining order actually just expired this October that just passed. And I'm just like, I cannot believe 3 years has passed already. Like, it went so fast. And it's just so important. This just taught me that it's so important to forget the things people say to you. Believe what they show you. People are who they show you to be. Anybody can say whatever they want to say. He was showing me a lot of times that he had some trauma and some things about him that I didn't like that he needed to work on. That could show me that he could have become physically abusive with the windshield and everything. And I chose to ignore it and to keep forgiving him. I just think I want to just stress the importance of just listening to the things people show you. Watch people's actions and take them seriously. Forget if they tell you they love you. What are they showing you? And that helped me learn that. It helped me really make it clear to me and make myself comfortable making it clear to other people what my boundaries are, the things that I am and am not going to accept. That situation helped me, so I'm grateful in that way. That is my story time on the time I was in an abusive relationship and when I ignored the sign. Thank you guys for watching, and let me know what you think. Let me know if you've ever been in a situation similar to mine. Let me know if anything. How does this make you feel? Did it help you? You know, because I know I'm not the only girl who's been in this situation before. Remember to like, remember to comment, remember to subscribe, and I'll be back with another video soon. And that's on period. That's on word to my mother.